the potential for some very serious implications, not only for the city of Stockbridge, but for other cities throughout the state.
Now, you say it has the potential for some very serious implications.
Sure.
Like what?
Well, if this proposal were to move forward, based on the information that we've received from the University of Georgia Carl Vincent Institute, which we have contracted with to develop a study, it could have an impact of between $4 to $6 million per year in commercial tax revenue that would no longer be within the city of Stockbridge. I would mention that Stockbridge is in a very strong fiscal position. We're a city that does not have a property tax, and we have a $15 million reserve fund. And so we're very sound fiscally, and this, if it were to move forward and be approved, would have a devastating impact on the city of Stockbridge now and in the future.
Now, Councilman Alexander, you've been one that has been out there publicly opposing this particular move. What are you hearing from the residents of Stockbridge about this?
What I'm mostly hearing, Maria, is that what is going on? What is happening? How did this occur? And there's so many questions because the process has not been transparent at all with the group who is behind forming the proposed city of Eagles Landing. Many of the citizens of that particular area, which I am one of, the Eagles Landing area residents, had no clue that this was going on. And what I'm hearing from citizens is, how did this happen and what can we do to get involved? Because we don't feel like our voices have been heard at this point. So as representatives of the citizens of Stockbridge, I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure that the process is transparent as possible and we're able to shine light on the process, because people want to understand and they want to be able to trust the process no matter what it is, and they want it to be a fair process. Personally speaking, for myself, I would no longer be in the city of Stockbridge.
Okay.
I would be in the new city of Eagles Landing should that bill pass and the referendum be voted on. And I feel as though in my own personal situation, no one ever came to me and no one ever came to our fellow council member who also would be removed from the city of Stockbridge. In ways, this disenfranchises us as from our service and to have to run in the city of Eagles Landing when we already are serving the people of Stockbridge in a citywide at-large fashion.
Now, we've seen moves at obtaining cityhood quite often here in the state of Georgia, primarily in the metro Atlanta area. Now, I know you're hearing from residents. They don't want to leave the city of Stockbridge, as you say you and a fellow council member would have to do. When it comes to cityhood, how is this move different from the others that we've seen?
Yeah, the other ones that we've seen over the past 12 years or so were done, again, out of the unincorporated area of the county. A portion of the county was taken and then developed and incorporated into a new city. What is different about this is it takes an existing city, a portion of an existing city, to form another city. And you can imagine what that can do in terms of disruption to existing and established neighborhoods and communities within the city of Stockbridge or other communities potentially. And that's why this is such a concern of ours, and certainly a concern of many other cities throughout the state that we have had the ability to contact. In fact, we were just at a Georgia Municipal Association conference this weekend, and a number of cities have joined us in submitting resolutions in support of our position, and many other cities are quite concerned about that as well. I'll say also that as city manager and representing the city's position, that the entire elected body of the city of Stockbridge, the mayor and full council, are unanimous in their support of keeping Stockbridge together. We've had a number of town hall meetings, a number of information sessions, meetings with homeowners association groups, and every time we make presentations and receive information from these groups which we have discussed this issue, they're all concerned as well. And so we're doing everything that we can, both at the local level and the state level, to halt this proposal. And so we certainly hope that this will come to an end, but we still realize that it can navigate itself through potentially the House and Senate.
If you're just joining me, I'm Maria Boynton. My guests today are two representatives with the City of Stockbridge, Randy Knighton, who is the city manager, and Councilmember Elton Alexander. And we are talking about a move that would split the City of Stockbridge to name the City of Eagles Landing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you have the whole elected body of Stockbridge that is adamantly against it. So if everyone who is an elected official in Stockbridge is against this, Mr. Alexander, how does this happen?
That's a good question that you would have to ask the Eagles Landing Educational Research Committee, which is a group that was put together that really we have very much knowledge of. We have reached out to this group to be able to talk with them and to be able to understand some of their concerns. And in that effect, you know, we just really like to understand, sit down at a table to be able to talk, to discuss what the issues are. As a resident of the Eagles Landing area personally, I'm all for improved city services. I'm all for making sure that the area residents are represented and that services are superior and that we provide what's necessary. But at first, you know, we should sit down at a table to be able to sit down and talk to understand what is needed, because you know, we all represent at large fashion in the city because we don't have districts. But I figure as I really represent that particular area because I walk those streets every day and I drive them, and I want to make sure that those residents are happy. And for the most part, those residents are happy with the city of Stockbridge. They're happy because we don't have a city tax, and they're very concerned about this motion coming forward without any input on their behalf.